We are cruising along on the Actbest Core Swept e-bike. I'm guessing they call it the Swept because it's got these swept back handlebars. This bike comes in a few different versions with different handlebars, but that's besides the point. We are focusing on maximum comfort today. And since this bike has a very much of a beach cruiser vibe, we're going to cruise to all of the beaches around where I live today. Starting out here at Oldfield Beach. Nice sunny bright day, and this bike is really different than what I'm used to riding, and in a very good way. It sets up high with a very comfortable riding position. So the bike is not really made for off-road riding, but if you do have to pop off for a second and go through some grass, it's not going to be too difficult. But it's not something that I would want to do long term. The disc brakes are responsive and do a good job of slowing this bike down, though I wouldn't trust it for any kind of like downhill mountain biking or anything like that. This bike is definitely made for casual riding. I've been riding along in pedal assist level 2 right now, and that's plenty of power for a casual situation like this. As a matter of fact, it might be a little bit too much. I think I've scared some people coming up behind them on the sidewalk here. We'll hit this light duty trail here and go up to level 3. And this is taking us up to about 15.5 miles per hour, 16 miles per hour. And assist level 3 for this trail is probably a bit too much. Once I get out on the smoother trail, I'll go up through the higher pedal assist levels. But overall, the bike rides great. This is extremely comfortable. I love this big padded seat. The front forks suspension is doing a great job of absorbing a lot of the bumps and dips and rocks that I hit along the way. It's an overall joy to ride. Now that we're out here on a smooth trail, I can open her up a bit. I'm going to go up to pedal assist level 4 and see what kind of speed we can get. Here in 3, again, we're at about 16 miles per hour. Up to level 4. This is taking us up to about 18 miles per hour, and it's capped out there at 18. And now we're going to go up to pedal assist level 5. And we are at about 20.3 miles per hour. I've got the wind in my face, and I weigh about 200 pounds, so they say this bike will do 22 miles per hour. It looks like, oh, wait a second now. We're at 21 miles per hour. 21 miles per hour, and I weigh 200 pounds. But it is still creeping up there. We're at 21.4, 21.5. So with the wind in my face, I hit 21.5 miles per hour, and I weigh 200 pounds, so I think it's pretty safe to say that this bike will actually pull 22 miles per hour. And I think 22 miles per hour is pretty good, especially since I don't think anybody is buying this bike to win any races. This is definitely a comfort cruiser, but being able to get up to that speed is nice when you need it. The wind died down. I don't have the wind in my face anymore, and I just hit 22.2 miles per hour, so valid claim in my book. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a straightaway here. I'm going to take off from a dead stop and show you the acceleration on this bike. It is not super impressive. It's very mild, but again, this bike is not made for speed. It's made for comfort, but here we go. Throttle only on acceleration. And I am in pedal assist level 5 now. And we're at 21.9 miles per hour, so that's our maximum acceleration. You can see it took it that long to get up there. Looks like they got the trail closed off here for fireworks last night, so we got to go around again, zipping through the grass here, no problems whatsoever. But it's not something I'd want to do for a extended period of time. And there we go, right back to the trail. All right, that was our acceleration test with the throttle. I'm going to do it with pedal only now. I really do like this thumb throttle, though. I prefer this over a twist throttle. It's just a lot more comfortable to use. But anyway, that's besides the point. Here we go on our pedal assist acceleration. Let me start off in pedal assist level 1. Here we go. It definitely takes off a lot faster when you help pedal it. And we're up to about 10 miles per hour, 10.5. Pedal assist level 2 takes us up to around 13. Level 3, about 15. Level 4, we're up to about 18 now, and level 5. And the higher you go in your speed, the slower it accelerates, if that makes any sense. It's like you're definitely getting a diminishing rate on your return of energy output on the battery. So I don't know if the fisheye on this camera is going to really convey it, but this is a little bit of a steep hill. I'm going to climb this thing from a dead stop using throttle only, and if I need to, I'm going to then give it some pedal. But here we go. Very, very mild acceleration, but it seems to be making it up the hill. No problems, and I'm not pedaling at all. Yeah, did it without any problem. Here we go. All right, we're coming up to our second beach here, Fox Island. This is the little beach that I went to when I was a kid. The other beach didn't exist yet, so this is where I spent a lot of time playing out in dirty lake water, building up my immune system. A lot of fond memories here. I really can't express enough how comfortable this bike is. It's got a fantastic riding position. The seat is got plenty of cushion, and if you wanted to go the extra mile, you could actually add a suspension seat post to this bike. But so far, I don't think it's been necessary. This is comfortable enough just right out of the box. Assembly on this bike was pretty easy. It came mostly put together already. You just got to put on the front wheel, handlebars, and put the rear rack on. Now, I had the entire bike put together in about, less than a half an hour. But then it took probably at least that long to put the rear rack on because I didn't know what I was doing. It's a real bear to get it on. It's got a lot of tension in its arms, so I'll go over that later and explain how to put that on. So hopefully it'll save other people more time than it did me, and more effort too. Once you know what you're doing, it's not too bad, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's a real bear to get the thing put together. Alright, so I just ticked over 7 miles on my trip here, and I am teetering between 4 and 5 bars on a 6-bar battery. And I have not been riding in a way that would be conservative of battery life at all. I would say that if you're going for range, don't put this all the way up in pedal assist level 5. The battery life doesn't seem too bad, but riding it in assist level 5 really does draw a lot out of the battery. I would say cap it out at 3 or 4 if you want to conserve but still get good speed out of it. I've dropped down to level 4 now, and that's capping us out at 18 miles per hour. I'm essentially ghost pedaling, and the motor isn't whining near as loud as it was up on pedal assist level 5. There's definitely a diminishing rate of return when it comes to using the batteries. Going faster is definitely going to kill your range. As for our battery life, we've come about 12 miles today, and we are at 4 out of 6 bars on the battery. Now keep in mind that I did ride this bike a lot harder than I would normally ride it, so you're going to get decent range out of this bike, probably about 25 miles on a normal kind of ride. Again, you can drop it down to lower levels if you want to get higher range, and you can take it up to higher speed if you want higher speed, but that's going to kill the range on the battery. Taking a tour around the bike up front, we've got these fenders, and I think the fenders make the bike look really cool. Normally I'm not a fan of fenders, but with this white paint job I think it looks really awesome. Also, we've got a really kind of cool looking, futuristic looking headlight up here, and yeah, I do like the looks of that. Down here we've got disc brakes. They are mechanical disc brakes. They do a great job of stopping the bike, especially under the conditions that most people are going to be riding this bike. We've got our bouncy fork up front here, and you can lock it out and you can adjust it. We've got a spot here to mount a nice rack up front, and man, I do love a nice rack up front. I love these brown grips along with the brown seat. I think with the white and black it makes the bike look really classy. The handlebars are swept back for maximum comfort. We've got some nice brake levers here. Here's our control screen. It is very simple, plain Jane, but it's easy to see, and I prefer this over those big, gaudy, colorful screens because it's just simple, does what it needs to do, and I can see it. We've got a 7-speed Shimano shifter here. We've got a thumb throttle, which I really appreciate. This is a lot more comfortable than a twist throttle. The battery sits in this down tube here. It's easily removable, and it's only removable with the key. It locks into place. It's a 36 volt 13 amp hour battery, and it does have a waterproof charging port. Here's our seat. There's plenty of comfort, plenty of padding, and again, I do love this color with this bike. I think it looks awesome. The seat can go as far down as this to accommodate really short riders, or as far up as about right there to accommodate really tall riders. I can't remember the exact range on rider height, but I will put those specs on the screen right here. And around back we've got our mechanical disc brakes, and they do an excellent job of stopping the bike, especially under the conditions that most people are going to be riding this bike. We've got a rear fender, we've got this rear rack, and this rack was the worst part of putting the bike together. I tried to put the front part on first and then mount the back rails here. You actually want to mount these first and then the front second. Even though you do it that way, it's still going to be difficult. There's a lot of tension on these rods, so just be patient and you will get it. Back here we've got a 7-speed gearbox, Shimano tourney derailleur, and a derailleur guard, which is always nice. And normally back here you've got your specs stamped on your hub motor. They are not stamped on this one, so I will put those specs on the screen, but keep in mind those specs are going to be according to Actbest and not me. The tires are Ebike brand. They say cool over here, so I really don't know. I've not heard of this brand before, but they ride nice and they feel all right. My thoughts on cheap tires is ride them until they're bald and then swap them out for something else. And to finish out our walk around, we've got plastic pedals here. I think they're going to hold up okay for how most people are going to be riding this bike. I don't think most people are going to be putting a lot of pressure on these pedals. So my final thoughts on the Actbest Core Swept e-bike. So even though this bike is made for comfort, it's a great all-rounder. With that being said, it's made for comfort. Get your Hey Dudes and your most comfortable t-shirt and play some Jimmy Buffett, because when you're riding this thing, you're on island time. It's an awesome, smooth, comfortable ride with a comfortable seat, comfortable handlebars, comfortable suspension. It's got a rack in the back for putting all your extra goodies to make yourself even more comfortable. So what else is there to say? It's a bike for comfort, and they hit all the check marks to make you comfortable while you're riding this thing. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.